You gotta know a day. Today we're going to talk about the nucleus of the cell. So, the nucleus of the cell is an organelle. It's in eukaryotes, and it contains the DNA. But that's not it. We're going to talk more about that later. But because it contains almost all of the DNA in a cell, the mitochondria, or the chloroplast, for your plant cell being the exception, it's going to be where protein synthesis starts. It's not going to occur right there. The signal, the mRNA signal right here, is going to go on to be synthesized on a ribosome, as you can see right here. That's going to make proteins, this amino acid, but that doesn't occur here. We're going to talk more about that later. Most of the time in the nucleus, DNA is stored in this spaghetti-like form of chromatin. It isn't quite spaghetti-like. It's all wrapped around histone, and it makes nucleosomes. But when you're about to start mitosis, it's going to curl up to make sure that everything goes in the right place into this condensed chromosome shape. Like you could see the X that I think you're probably more familiar with. In mitosis, that's where the DNA is going to get pulled apart, and you're going to get copies of exactly the same type. Again, you can see it in the chromatin shape, and then the X's all the way through to the end of anaphase, telophase, and the cell division. I thought this was really dope. This is a real cell that's had proteins and DNA tagged, essentially, different colors. Looks pretty darn great. Proteins in green, DNA in red. Really cool. Maybe the coolest mitosis GIF I've seen. Also inside the nucleus, and I told you it isn't just the chromatin, there is something called the nucleolus. This is a ribosome creation factory. It's where they are born. Remember, the ribosomes are going to be what makes the proteins, and this is where they are made. They're going to move out of the nucleus and into either free space in the cell or on endoplasmic reticulum, which you can see here, where proteins are born. There are a couple of nucleus disorders that are linked to problems in the nucleus. Emery-Dreifuss muscular dystrophy, believe it or not, these two women have the same disorder. It's where essentially these proteins in the nucleus, lamin and lamin A, lamin C, and emerin, proteins in the nucleus are dysfunctional. They have a mutation in them, and because of that, you get either overgrowth like this, or very small undergrown arms and shins. And also progeria is another nucleus disorder. In progeria, the children seem to age very quickly. And essentially what happens again, it's that lamin protein, super crazy important with the double envelope of the nucleus. And there's an issue with this protein, farnesyl, getting attached or getting stuck, and either it's going to be a nice double membrane or it's going to get messed up because farnesyl can't get detached. So lamin is a protein in the nucleus. It gets assembled. It needs to get in and out of the nucleus. Again, this is the whole cell, and this is the nucleus. It does that via little channels. The way channels work in the nucleus, again, this is a nucleus membrane. It's like a cell membrane, except for it's a double one, which you can see here. It's going to use something called RAN-GTP cycle. It's going to use RAN-GTP. That is right here, allows things to get into and out of the cell, and it's a clue that they really like to ask about.